In a universe where life does not end at death, we explore the infinite possibilities forged by our very minds. Welcome to Arthadian Anthologies. Before we get started, I just want to inform you that this series was recorded over Discord. If the quality dips, it's due to connection issues. Greetings, fellow travelers and storytellers. Welcome to the Reborn in Power series titled The Doctor. In this series, we follow Dr. Cal, a Negonian technician who managed to escape from the authoritarian propaganda of his home society, the Zelic dynasty. Before we get started on these sessions, I must give a recap of who Dr. Cal is and what he has created. So without further ado, let's dive in. In Cycle 140, near the end of the Divergence Array, a new experiment began in the Zelic dynasty. Within the capital of Proto, Cerebral Cortexium 18 brought in two Negonian doctors, one that worked alongside notable scientists since before the dynasty came to power, and another prodigy that graduated from the Virtuoid Institute of Technology in Proto. Dr. Venton was renowned in his biological studies regarding most primordial species found across the core. He was raised in the Volcryo city of Igez, and when old enough, instead of going to a normal scientific academy, he decided to enter the science division of Core Command. It wasn't until the War for Command arose that Venton decided to return to his home and work on his own projects. Then, when the Zelic dynasty came to power in Cycle 112, he joined them in hopes to increase his workload and travel for the new power structure to gain knowledge and resources. As for Dr. Cal, the young Kargareth was a prodigy in his tech field of study, particularly focused on how the artificial minds and bodies can interface with each other, and a fascination with synchronous tech. Dr. Cal was groomed to be a renowned scientist in part of the Democortex, and their science division going up against what Core Command had. As a result of this, the great Montezelic sought out Tetherer 18 to bring together these two doctors in order to begin on a new project. The goal of this project was to assimilate into the everyday culture of the Pillar lifestyle. Therefore, both Dr. Cal and Dr. Venton were brought to Cortexium 18 and given a deceased corpse of Adonis Prime, what they call a sub-pure. Oversaw by Prober 18, he explained to them,
"We want fully functioning sub-pure that will assimilate into the pillars at large. You two are the best qualified applicants who can make this happen. Do so for the dynasty, and you'll be rewarded."
Over the course of a month and a half, Dr. Cal and Dr. Venton worked alongside each other to create a walking corpse of a prime. However, there was a bit of tension as Prober 18 informed Dr. Cal that Venton might be compromised in some regard, saying not to trust him and watch him carefully. Upon doing as Prober 18 asked, it backfired, and Venton broke Dr. Cal out of the propaganda plaguing the young Kargareth's mind. For the first time in a long time, Dr. Cal actually had a friend. Dr. Cal also began experiencing strange fluctuations around this time, where his mind would take him to a space where he thought he saw the All-Father and spoke to him. Warnings about Dr. Cal's brother came from these visions, as well as connections back to their late father, who despised the Tsarek dynasty. Now, although the two of them worked behind the Daimocortex's back, they still continued with the experiment. Venton sent Cal to Vicroniax, to the specialized codex manufacturer known as TL Frameworks. Dr. Cal was escorted by a servant of the Daimocortex, and was able to find Dr. Venton's contact, who provided the materials to build a functioning internal robotic system for their first prototype. After about 2 weeks of continuous work on getting their prototype up and running, Dr. Venton informed Cal that he had plans for their escape. This plan required Dr. Cal to meet in an abandoned alley where a hidden hatch opened up to an underground system. Once there, Dr. Cal had his memories rearranged so that any attempts at a mind tether would prove useless. He was also given a specific line of code to implement into their prototype. Then Cal booted their prototype up, and thus, Proto, as Cal calls him, was born. It was at this time Prober 18 and Montezelic himself came to examine Proto. The diagnostic check was seamless, and Dr. Cal was commended and offered a position in the ranks of the Daimocortex. Dr. Venton, however, was not present, and upon further questioning, Cal was informed that Venton was caught colluding with the uprising and executed. Once Prober 18 and Montezelic left, Proto began his escape protocol. In a quick fashion, Proto managed to kill multiple servants in Cortexium 18 and brought Dr. Cal to the set of coordinates where they were transported to a forest clearing on the other side of the harbor. Upon his surprise, Dr. Cal was approached by a commander and operative of Corps Command, Commander Kurter and Operative Micah. The two of them informed Cal of his circumstances and gave him back his memories of all that went down. Now, without further ado, here is Entry 1 of The Doctor. On the southern border of Voestivez, on the pillar of the harbor, a now free Kargareth Nugonian finds himself inside what seems to be a secret base held by Corps Command. This Kargareth Nugonian has an ally, kind of like an adopted son in a way, a created son due to his origins. Dr. Cal, as you are now inside this secret base, in which you were told that you would be staying for the time being as things died down. You and Proto are inside your own chambers, sitting there, You were told that you would be able to use the laboratory in order to do a diagnostic check on Proto. Proto being a priminoid, a prime tonist, but is unique in the fact that you and a previous ally of yours did an experiment on this Tonist Prime who was originally deceased, putting in an AI system into the head, the brain, as you will, of this Tonist Prime, and now you refer to it, him, whatever they might be, as Proto, your creator, your creation. He refers to you as the creator. As the two of you sit there, and you wait for your chance to go into the laboratory for, well, the chance to start to see everything that's inside this place, because the technology here is definitely different but similar in many regards to that of the Zellic dynasty in which you originate from. Proto looks at you and says, "You look anxious, creator."
Well, let's see. How's that timer going, Proto? How many minutes we have left? It was 4 hours, wasn't it?
4 hours, correct. We currently are around 3 hours and 25 minutes in to the 4-hour time span.
As Proto's saying that, I look down at the codex that I borrowed, and I'm this entire time that Dr. Cal has been sitting here, he's been writing down what he knows about the DMO's quartets, just to make sure that they have all they can.
Okay, so you're kind of like you're filling out a bunch of notes and files about the demo cortex and trying to give as much detail as you possibly can. Go ahead and roll me a lore check.
Lore check.
Lore, yes. And that's knowledge.
I rolled the wrong dice. Give me a sec.
Are you rolling a d20? Please don't tell me you're rolling a d...
Let's see, we got a 7 plus a 12 plus a 1, so we're at 20.
20?
Is this the intellect skill? Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is.
So 20.
So you should be good, you know?
Yeah, I put down... Dr. Cal has put down everything he remembers.
All right. You write down as much as you possibly can. Do you put anything about your family in it? Like your brother? Or your father?
My father... I would write about my father. I would certainly write about my father, because he... Like, the few information he gave me before... before he died and before the war, like before
the uprising, before the uprising.
I put all the information that I have from that, and for my brother, I put in some information that he seems to be connected to a tetherer. Where's he a tetherer? What was he?
You weren't quite sure. You got the sense that he did work underneath Montezelic himself, but you weren't
underneath Monte.
Yeah, you weren't sure whether or not he was a tetherer, one of the tetherers, or if he was like how you worked under the branches of the Democortex, but were kind of like loosely like a freelance engineer doctor type.
Yeah, I put down the information I have on my brother, which isn't much. I just know that he's a he seems to be higher ranking, judging by how he was talking.
All right.
Like, he seems to be higher up than I was, at least, because he was like, brother, your ambitions are so low, or something like that.
Yeah.
As
as you sit there and you continue to write, you hear Proto say, Are you okay, creator?
He did. Dr. Caltrana wipes a tear. He was thinking about Dr. Vinton. Or Vinton. He was thinking about Dr. Vinton, so he kind of wipes away a tear, and he's like, yes, Proto, I am mostly fine.
Mostly.
Yes.
Is there a percentage that you can give me on how fine you are?
No, emotions are a lot more complicated than numbers, sadly.
I must understand these emotions.
Well, maybe Sin AI seem to be quite adaptive over time. You'll probably develop them over time, especially given your biological part.
Biological parts, yes. This is interesting that I am like the weak primes. I am a prime.
Yes.
Is that what I am? Or am I...
No, you are different. You are a Sin, but you are within a prime body.
So, my frame is prime frame, but I am Sin.
Yes. Well, as far as I understand.
Interesting.
Vinton worked on the biological aspects of your design. I mainly worked upon the brain.
Venton, Dr. Venton was also creator.
Yes, but Vinton, as we know, tragically passed.
Yes.
But we can continue his work in a way. I don't know how he felt about your creation. I assume he did not enjoy it as much as I did. Doctor's oath and all of those things.
You enjoyed creating me.
You are an interesting creation, and definitely one of my creations with the most room to grow. And I pointed like the biological muscle. Because he's like one of the few Sin AIs that can actually develop the body right now without upgrades.
Mm-hmm.
You are curious, for I'm not entirely sure what will happen with you.
I feel a need to grow, as you say. But I don't quite know exactly how I can go about growing.
Well, don't look at me.
But you are my creator.
Yes, but I do not know everything.
The creator doesn't know everything? How did you create me?
I used parts from... What's their name? Out of character question, Matt. It was...
TL Frameworks.
I was about to say... I was going to say VL Frameworks.
VL Frameworks.
I knew I was close.
It's TL Frameworks.
Yeah, I knew it was Frameworks, okay? I knew there was an L and there was Frameworks. I only had like 26 wrong guesses before I would have gotten it. 100%.
Yeah.
I look over at Proto. I used parts from TL Frameworks. It's where I got the the core for your AI. The programming was mostly done by me.
So my personality is because of you, creator, but the actual engineering part is from this TO Frameworks.
TL Frameworks created the parts, and I created the way for those parts to interact with the body. Along with Dr. Vinton, of course.
Interesting.
You are... Well, it becomes a question of who would all you call a creator? Because technically the man who gave me the parts is also a creator. Though it's not as...
Should we meet this man, as you say?
Well, maybe when they say it's safer for us to be outside. The Diamos Quartet is still looking for me and probably information on you.
The Cortexian informants will be after you to kill you. I will protect you.
Yes. We should be mostly safe here. Well, besides from other things. But what was I thinking about? We could stop by TL Frameworks. Person there did want to meet me the first time I went. It would be interesting to see what I could learn from them.
It would be interesting. I need you to roll me a discipline will check, please.
Oh, discipline will check?
Oh, yeah, you know what I mean.
Discipline will check?
Oh, yeah! For the audience to know that this is the best check, yes.
Sorry. I got a 12 plus my 10 plus my 4 in discipline. So 26? Does that pass?
Nice. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean you pass, but it is a good thing. And as you're sitting there and you're thinking about all of this, you get this feeling again. The feeling from when the All-Father came to you. It's like an opening of your inner psyche. Like a pathway has opened. But nothing comes to you. It's almost like you can go to it.
I might as well see what you want. I look over at Proto. I might appear out of commission for a little bit. I will be right back.
We have a total of 25 minutes left.
This is more interesting. I will be right back, Proto. And I try crossing this pathway.
Okay,
in my mind.
You cross the pathway in your mind. You suddenly you feel like you're flying through a portal in your own mind, and it extends out into a space where you begin to see multiple geometric patterns begin to flow through your own vision, and the patterns begin to it almost looks like one of those, forget what they're called, where you kind of watch it on like a video, and you see all the different patterns kind of going downward, but it looks like they're like
fractal.
Yeah, fractal, like a fractal chain of different shapes that come into your vision until you finally reach a space, a darkened space where you see these large creatures flowing by you, in the distance. They are massive. As you reach the bottom where you see a blackened sandy beach, where you see the water kind of lifting up and then going down. And as you are there, you suddenly see coming out of the water a large Nugonian walking up to you and then shrinking down to your size.
Just a reminder. He didn't do this last time. He was like bigger than me the entire time.
Yes. He was bigger than you the entire time. This time it looks like he's shrinking down to your size.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, dude. You could have done that the first time. No, you just had to terrify me. So does he look like a Revoltic, I would assume?
He looks like a mixture of them, but also he looks like something from your dreams.
Oh, because
God. He also looks like your father at the same time.
Oh, he looks like every Nugonian all at once.
It's weird. It's like those images where you see multiple versions of it if you tilt it one way or the other. When you look at him at different angles, he has a different look to him.
I kind of just look directly at what I assume to be Allfather.
Okay.
And I'm kind of looking at them and I'm like, do you need something?
There are diverging paths in your future, Dr. Cal.
Curious.
The paths take you to places in which even I cannot see.
Oh, curious.
Do not go down the paths that even I cannot see.
How would one avoid those?
Your Proto. You must avoid taking him to places in which he would want to go.
Out of curiosity, why?
I cannot see what Proto desires. Usually I see through my children like you, and then can probe the minds of those beside me, beside you, without even being there. As long as you are staring at someone, even if they are of artificial intelligence, I can probe into their programming, their desires. Proto, I cannot.
Curious. That's not by design. Though there seems to be strange things about his creation.
Be sure
Things
to
I
find.
did not anticipate.
Be sure to find out all that you can, but heed my warning. Try to make sure that he does not
I would.
take you places.
I will try my best.
When I see...
Is that all you needed to talk about?
Yes, when I see that there might be an issue, this opening will come to you. But I understand if there are times where you cannot. Speak to me.
Okay. there a way back? I kind of just look around, like looking up, like
you look up, look up, and then you wake up.
Oh, he doesn't like get up with a start. He just like slowly gets up and looks at his hands. He's like, "Well, this appears to be my body."
And then
I look over at the Proto.
Suddenly, as you wake up, and you get up, and Proto looks over to the side, and you hear the door open, and you see someone walk up. Is like, and then you hear Proto say, 1-0. Time is up, and you see Operative Micah is standing there, and it's like,
oh, you are actually keeping track of the time.
Yes. And Dr. Cal did his best to just stand up and get on the floor.
Dr. Cal, are you...
Yes.
Are you a...
Oh.
What kind of... You specified that you are a type of engineer, right?
I have my doctorates in computer science.
Okay, so more of a coding language.
Not a biological doctor.
Alright.
For the most part.
Thank you for that. The laboratories are now open for you to spend your time in there.
I grabbed the codex that I borrowed,
okay.
to write down all the information.
Yep.
And I kind of just hand it to Micah.
Okay. You go to hand it to him. He takes it. It's like,
and this is the... This is the information that you...
This is...
And he kind of just like is waiting for you to kind of explain what you're handing him.
This is all the information I know on Deimos quartets.
Oh, the
I
Deimos
assumed they would be
quartets.
helpful.
Yes, I'll take this to the commander right away. Thank you for all this. I'm sure.
I do have one more question.
Of course. What?
I need access to something from the codex I gave you before. I need access to Proto's documents.
All right. Yes, I can definitely get that for you. Actually, it should be inside the lab. I'll right this way. And you see he goes over towards the door. The door slides open, and you begin to head through. As you head through, and you see the other rooms inside this space. You go down the hall, and you see he goes up to another door, to the door to your right. And as you enter inside, you see a bunch of monitors and like what looks like these large boxed pillars with different openings on both sides, and you see it looks like an assembly line of a sort, and you see multiple different pieces of equipment. You see different function capacitors for gear, for all types of gear, and there's crates like all place like in different places. You see an armor station, like a repair station. You see an upgrade table, and you see a bunch of tools as well. As he goes over to one of the monitors, you see him go and take your codex, and you see him begin to transfer certain files over, and then back into the codex, and then he gives it to you. All the files on Proto there should be there.
Out of curiosity, did you copy all files that were on here?
Yes, I did.
That means you have access to Proto's blueprints. And I kind of open up the thing.
We do have access
They will be outdated soon.
Of course. So Proto here is it seems like he has potential that hasn't been unlocked yet.
Oh, yes. It appears our little research did more than we thought.
Proto says, I need to improve. Of course. But anyways, I there's a lot of other business that I need to take care of. In the meantime, you can stay here and mess around with what we have here.
Are there other people in here?
Currently, just you. But for your information, any new prototypes, blueprints that you create inside here, they are technically the property of Core Command.
Ah, interesting. And I kind of look around.
But
that is good to know.
Just so you know, Core Command is willing to pay you for said ideas and concepts that you create within this base.
I do not care for weapon designs to eat them. Yes, I will work on those.
Not necessarily weapons.
Well, blueprints for those.
It could be, honestly, anything.
Well, I mean, for me.
Alright, well,
I want to keep a majority of my ideas on Proto secret.
Alright, well, I am going to go and report back to the commander about this information, and in the meantime, have at it. Do you have my codex? My codex information?
Proto, do you have it? I look over at Proto because I don't remember getting it.
Proto looks over, is like, I do not have that kind of information. No. All right, I'm gonna, and then you see him take his codex out, and then he taps it to yours. There you go. Now you have my codex information. If you need anything, just contact me, and then I will bring it over. Sound good?
Thank you.
All right, I need to go and
sounds fair.
Deal with something else. And you see him leave. Try not to contact me very much. I may be absent for some time.
I understand. Business, I assume.
Yes. And he goes and leaves. As he leaves, you are there with everything in front of you. What do you want to do?
Dr. Cal, kind of just a little thing for Dr. Cal. He puts his hands together and he rubs them. He's just looking down. It's almost like that Grinch smile. It's not, but it's reminiscent.
Yeah.
There's some. It's not evil. It's just so happy to be here. And I look over at Proto, and I'm like, Proto, out of curiosity, can you store information?
My information storage. My information storage is somewhat limited. It will archive certain things depending on how much information I have gathered. It's almost like I would say, the capacity of a normal prime brain.
Curious. Well, there's some basic information I want to keep in you before I strip this down for parts. And I look at the codex that I got. This is the codex from Demos Quartets, right?
The codex that you have is from
Or is this another code?
It is a new codex that you have. It looks like a
from Core Command?
Yeah, from Core Command. It is completely new codex that you have right now.
Yeah. I would like to add my own up right. Proto. I need to do a diagnostic. Where would be best to do that? Is there a computer station?
Yes, there's a computer station.
I kind of bring Proto over there. I'm like, we need to perform a full diagnostic. There seems to be things that we did not add that are developing. We are quite curious.
Yes, Creator. I will sit here. And you see he sits down. And you're gonna do a diagnostics check on him?
Yeah, I'm gonna open up the back of his head so I can access, his brain as well.
Okay, you open up the back of his head. And then he says,
and I start...
That kind of tickles.
It should only tickle for a minute. And I start the diagnostic. What do you want me to roll for a diagnostic?
Okay, first thing I need you to roll is a... Let me check this, actually, real quick. Real quick, I just made this thingy. I need to open it up. I need you to roll me a craft and a biology.
Yep. Good thing. Okay, so craft?
Yes.
That is a 6 plus 12, 18 plus 3 equaling 21. And there's biology. An 11 plus 12 equaling 13. 23 plus 1. So 24.
So that's
21 and 24.
21 and 24?
21 on coding. 21, 24.
Yeah, you're able to run a diagnostic check on him to see what is going on. And it looks like... Okay, what do you want to know? As you see multiple different aspects of Proto's design and yeah. What do you want to know?
As I open it up, first thing I want to know as a player is where is his strengths lie? Like attribute wise.
His strengths lie. He's pretty well rounded. He's mostly very, very strong. He's very strong. He's very smart. He is very so here I'll just say basically you see his attributes. His attributes are a 12 in fortitude, a 14 in strength, an 8 in agility, a 12 in intellect, a 10 in will, and a 5 in charm.
It's a decent spread. Curious. 14 strength. Wait, 14 strength?
Yes.
Oh, I did not intend for that. That's stronger than a rock right now.
Yes.
Ooh. Oops.
His health is 48.
What was his agility?
His health is 48. His stamina is 114. And his energy is 93.
I assume that he's leveled up.
I will send you the actual... I'll send it through Dr. Cal sessions.
Okay. Sorry, this is just me being curious, so I know where to what to build for Proto.
Yeah.
You know, it appears he's going to be quite strong boy, which means I might give him heavy weaponry, heavy ranged weaponry. Could actually be deep.
Oh, what the heck? What just happened there? There you go. You also see that he has certain abilities and skills and stuff. You see that he's able to phase through certain types of tech armor. Actually, most tech armors, if he uses a certain ability. You saw this when you guys were escaping, when he grabbed on to the servants and basically phased their armor away so that you could hit them. And then he also has a ability to basically pierce through armor with his fists. You also saw this when he basically thrust his fist through one of the servants and basically tore a hole inside their chest. And he's also pretty quick.
Jesus. Oh, I love him. I thought he was a Kron. Okay, he's not. Curious. Sorry, I've been thinking of him as a Kron because that's what I assumed was around the.
No, because you're on the harbor. Tonist is the most prominent prime on the harbor.
Okay, I didn't know that, so that was me just making a guess.
And then you also see that.
And I look over Proto and I'm like, Oh.
You also see that there are upgrades to him. Not necessarily, you don't exactly know what the upgrades are. All you know is that in order for him to upgrade, he needs to experience some form of combat. And then you'll be able to unlock those upgrades and then do a diagnostic check to make them available to him. And from what you see, there are 3 types of upgrades. And for what you see there, Dr. Cal, not Dr. Cal, but Saga, you see on the actual stat block itself, it says upgrades, 3 access upgrades available. That means that there's 3 access available for upgrades. You can and then you see skill upgrade, feat upgrade, and ability upgrade. And then it says 5 combat, 10 combat, or 15 combat encounters. You can choose to not give him the skill upgrade and just keep getting as many combat encounters as possible for him, and just get him all the ability, all 3 ability upgrades, and choose 3 abilities for his access upgrades instead of skill or feat. Or you can go 1 skill, 1 feat, 1 ability, or you can go all 3 feats or 2 feats and 1 skill kind of thing.
Well, Proto is my combat boy.
Yeah.
We're probably just gonna. We'll see. We'll see how stuff develops. I look over Proto and I'm like, curious.
But yeah, this diagnostic check takes a couple hours to go through all of his capabilities.
And after that's done, I just look over Proto. I assume I unplugged from the back of his head as soon as I didn't need to, because as Proto said, it tickles.
Yeah.
And as soon as that's done, I just kind of look over Proto and I'm like, curious, you seem to be more adaptive than I thought.
I suppose I am.
And, after that, I just try to, get Proto all set up. He's in his armor still, right? Because he doesn't have clothes.
Yes.
Well, let's get you some clothing. And is there like a textile workbench, I assume?
Yes.
I assume the armor area would be the best for that.
Yeah, there are upgrade materials.
And I kind of...
Actually, let me go to the shopping phase real quick so that I can open that stuff up too. So if you go to the stations, you see upgrade materials and armor materials. I forget, did you take any damage to your armor last time? Because technically armor still would still be damaged. If you
No, I don't think I did. I think Proto did. Oh.
Okay.
I think I got lucky. If I remember correctly. Maybe no. Maybe I might be at. I'm gonna say 11. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think my threshold might be at 11.
Is that its max, or is that...
Because I took a few hits. Oh, it took damage. It took like 4 things of damage.
Okay, yeah, so you can
I think I got 4 hits.
You can use a repair station
Oh.
to repair stuff. You look through all the different cabinets and things like that, and you open them up and you see a bunch of different upgrade like armor materials, upgrade materials of all kinds, and you see that you have a lot to use in here. So if you want to fix up your armor, you can.
I would say hand me your armor, but you're naked under there. Is there
he presses onto his chest?
I can only assume
he presses onto his chest, and his armor goes back to like a little disc, and he goes and hands it to you while he's just standing there naked. Here you go, creator.
Well, I don't care, but other people might.
There
and
are
I
no
put the armor on
no
this
others.
thing.
And you take the armor and you put it down.
Do we hear the door open?
No door.
Oh
opens.
no! Okay, I thought it was about to be the door open.
No.
Well, they probably have cameras, so I feel bad for the camera guy. And I look over at Proto, and I'm like, is there like a measuring thing for it? Like to measure Proto's what is it called? Take his measurements. For
Yes. Yeah, you can take his measurements. Yeah.
Clothing.
Yes.
I do that.
You go.
I'm taking his measurement for clothing.
As you're looking around for a measurement tool, you find one. You grab it and you place it on the ground. As you place it on the ground, it creates almost like this holographic ruler, and then it begins to scan all of Proto's body and then gives the dimensions of his body.
After that, I kind of look around. Is there anything that looks like clothing material, like just normal clothing?
When you're looking around, you do see some pieces of cloth and undergarments to what maybe a metallic armor might have for it, so that you could actually put on some kind of comfortable under armor for certain armor sets that might be heavier to wear. So
I tried taking what I can, and I tried making I assume a mechanic jumpsuit is the only way
sure
to think about it for my brain.
Yeah.
But I tried making a jumpsuit for Proto. Just a basic, little sci-fi jumpsuit.
Okay. Go ahead and just roll me
I have a plan, but I'll do that once I'm out of...
Roll me a craft check.
Crafting?
Yeah. This is gonna be all craft.
Yeah.
All craft.
All craft, all day long.
Oh, here we go.
21.
21, easy enough. You're able to whip something up within about an hour and give it to him, and then he puts it on. This is somewhat tight. Will it be adjustable later?
Where is it tight, Proto?
It is tight around my reproductive organs.
Dr. Cal is just he doesn't care, so he's just looking. He's like, Well,
It goes up my
and he just
rectum.
Okay. Okay, Proto. Anywhere else that it's tight?
I don't like it going to the pits of my arm.
Well,
I have to stretch out my hands.
Take it off, Proto.
Okay. And you
Take
see
it off, Proto.
you see
and
him
I will
go
make modifications.
and put his hands right up to his right up to the neck, and you see him tear it off. And as he tears it off, he's like,
Right.
I didn't like that.
I take the broken pieces of jumpsuit and I make the modifications in the areas that need modifications.
Okay,
Because
that
I assume Nugonians just don't really wear underclothing.
no, they
I
usually
assume,
just
judging by how we've talked.
mainly wear jumpsuits. You haven't met any other you haven't met any Nugonians outside of the Zelig dynasty. So most Nugonians in the Zelig dynasty usually wear jumpsuits and quantum tech gear.
Yeah, so that's what I'm basing my fashion sense off of.
Go ahead and roll me another
I make
craft.
the modification.
Go ahead and roll me another craft.
That's a 12. Somehow. So that's like that's a 25? No, sorry. It is not a 25. That is a 20.
I'm surprised I'm not
Yeah.
using salvaging just yet.
That requires stamina.
Yeah, and you can rest to recover
I'm not
stamina.
using it right now.
You can rest to recover stamina, though.
I'm not making anything I care about right now. I'm making a jumpsuit so my Proto isn't naked. It doesn't need to be good quality. Good quality is after you figure out the measurements.
Okay, yeah, you make something a little bit wider for him, like a little better at the joints.
You know,
so that it doesn't, it's not squeezing up against him too much. He puts it on and he's like, "Ooh, that is better, much better. I like it. I like it a lot." Yes.
Okay.
It doesn't mess with my
Don't rip this.
with my parts. Don't rip it.
Okay, so last time, that's not how you take off a jumpsuit. And I kind of show Proto how to take off a jumpsuit in the middle of this.
Okay.
Yeah, I show Proto how to take off a jumpsuit.
You showed Proto how to take off a jumpsuit. He's like, "Okay," and then he goes and takes off the jumpsuit. He's like, "That makes sense." Okay, and then he puts it back on.
Okay, no. Okay, good. And I put my jumpsuit back on. I had to give him demonstration. And I put my jumpsuit back on.
Now,
and I'm like, okay.
Now, what
Now
do you
time to
need
repair
from me?
the armor. Nothing right now. That was about it.
Do you need me to assist in anything?
I don't know how well you can assist in crafting yet.
I can analyze your work for the time being, and then try to replicate such things.
That sounds fair. Yes, just do that, Proto.
All right.
Yes, for right now, I don't really
Beginning analyze mode.
think for
And
you.
you see his eyes begin glowing and scanning you.
Curious.
Begin.
And I turn around. I look for the specifically. I go to like the weapon station.
Okay. You go over to where the all the weapon gear is at. What are you planning on doing? Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Come on, Dr. Cal.
The first thing, we're going to make a very basic weapon because I didn't think about Proto needing weapons.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
But it'll be useful for Proto to have something. I assume I can probably make either ion or blaze gauntlets would be good for Proto.
Okay. If you're making ion gauntlets, like the actual like shock gauntlets, let me go to the weaponry. Weaponry is right here. Okay.
I don't know what.
So basically, you'd have to
at?
if you're going the route of making shock what's it called? Let me see. They called the gauntlets, the actual like shock gauntlets. You have to make ion bracers and shock gloves, whereas the blaze gauntlet is like a full on everything comes together to it, and there are specific pieces that you need to get function capabilities and all that stuff.
Okay, so what would be easier to make right now as a player? Just blaze gauntlets? Those would require rank 3 quality 2.
Shock gloves by themselves would probably be easiest if you're trying to practice kind of thing.
Okay, I tried figuring out shock gauntlet. Oh, I just insta-do that. Yeah.
You can just insta do it, yeah.
Quality 1.
But do you
because
do you want to try to do
intelligence.
it? Do you want to try to? Do you want to also add?
Want me to roll for it?
Do you want to add the rank upgrade to it as well?
Sure, with the rank upgrade, it's still only. Yeah, I'll try adding the rank upgrade.
Okay, so it'd be.
I have to roll like a 2 for this.
Okay, you need a
Because
you need a 19.
natural-
You need a 19 to get this.
19
Yeah.
altogether.
Yeah.
Let me do the math. I'm already at like 15 just naturally because of my high intelligence in crafting.
Yeah. Go.
So I only need to roll about like a 4.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll.
So I'm going to try rolling a 4. Oh my god, I failed.
You failed.
I crit failed.
Oh, okay. Let me see what happens.
Matt, what did I do?
Just give me 1 second. Just 1 second. Talk to the audience.
Proto is such a good boy. Minus his horrible, well, not understanding social customs. So I cannot say much. Diamos Corte said very little.
All right. So, let me see. Okay, it's not so bad. It's not so bad what you did. I was gonna see if it exploded in your face and caused a shocking effect.
It's not blaze gauntlet.
Yeah, at least it's gonna this would only paralyze you if it was bad.
Oh, so I'm paralyzed?
No, you're not paralyzed. You're not paralyzed. You do take a little shock to your system, and you take 3 points to your stamina.
Ow.
and you see like a part of it that needs to be fixed now, which has just increased the set difficulty to actually craft it.
Okay. Well, we've tried fixing these.
All right, you want to try fixing
Let's
it?
Try it.
Try again.
You know what? Screw it. Gloves are off. Gloves are off, man.
Oh, you're going salvaging.
I'm going salvaging. I got mad.
You're gonna salvage.
Okay, how much do I need? It costs 7 points. Oh god.
It costs 7.
Dr. Cal gets shocked and he just looks. Yeah, it costs 7 stamina. Okay, and then we get to add all the fun stuff. So my normal base is 15, of course. And then I add sits on top of that, so we're at a 21, Matt. And this is before rolling anything.
Okay.
No way.
And you
No, and then we have to roll the
the added
rank 1.
So add a D4. Add a D4. Yeah. So a D12 plus a D4 plus 21. Plus 21.
Plus 21.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so fair. That was a 3, so 24.
Okay.
Plus a 7. So 31.
31. Yeah, easy enough.
31.
Easy enough. You go and fix it up and then just create the actual shock glove itself, and you put it through, and you go over and you go and test it on a little dummy right next to the actual weapon station. And as you go to test it on the dummy, you see it a little shock go out, and it creates like a stunning feature to it. So yeah, you made a shock glove. Congratulations. Now what do you want to do?
I look over at Proto.
Proto looks at you like,
Proto. And
yes.
I take the 2 gloves and I throw them at Proto because he has high enough agility. He should be able to catch this.
You go and throw it.
And I just kind of throw him the shock gloves. They're off. They're off.
Yeah.
They're not on.
Yeah. You throw them and he grabs onto them and then he puts them on. He's like, cool. Anything else I need?
Only turn those on during combat.
I understand.
I'm just making sure he knows that.
I understand.
I'm making sure. Maybe someday we'll make ion bracers for you as well.
Why not make them now?
As like Dr. Cal's sitting there, he like kind of like wipes a little like sweat off of his forehead because he went salvaged. You know, you know what I mean.
Perhaps you should rest.
Like wipes some sweat off his.
Perhaps
forehead.
you should rest, and I should make some shock gloves while you rest.
Can you?
I have the
ion brace.
I have my analyze mode on,
shock.
And he walks over.
Okay. Well, you have fun with that, Proto. I'm going to.
And you see him. You see him. And he, after about probably 30 seconds, he's like done, and he takes the shock gloves and he hands them to you.
I do not need shock gloves, Proto. I am not good with
it. It is so that when you are unarmed, you always have something on you.
You know what? That's a good idea. And I put him on. I keep him off, of course. But yes, I put him on.
Of course. Yeah, the shock gloves. What they do is they have the stun function on them, so you have to activate the stun function in order for it to work.
Okay, cool. 1d damage, 1d4 damage plus. Dang, it's actually pretty decent.
It is actually 1d6 damage because it is rank 2.
Oh yeah, so it's 1d6. Ooh, Proto's packing heat. Already.
Continue to make more, and I will analyze you and read from you what you make.
Curious. It's good to know, Proto. I'm like, wait a second. If I show Proto how to make a Proto. That's not a good idea. It's a fun idea that Dr. Cal likes, but he's like,
It took
how you have
it took you like a while to make a Proto though, so and
yeah,
making
a Proto is not a simple thing,
it's
and
not.
I need the supplies for it, and you need a dead body.
You need a dead body.
A prime dead body.
Maybe when you go around and you start going on the different missions and stuff, maybe you could just take instead of looting bodies, you loot the actual body.
I loot the body. I'm like, Proto, come here. We're going to have fun. We're making Proto 2. Sorry. I actually can you rest while reading stuff?
Yes.
Because there's some stuff I want. Well, not reading, but doing a check.
For
Like a non-physical check? Or would that not count as rest?
It depends on what the type of check you're doing. Like, are you like you're reading stuff?
So what Dr. Cal is going to try to do is he wants to try making his own Codex operating system. That's what he's going to try doing. So he needs to kind of figure out how one does that. So I assume he's just on the the internet and looking at how to use Linux.
There is no real when you go onto the systems, I need you to roll me a coding check.
Oh, perfect. I'm good at coding. For no apparent reason. There's no good reason I'm good at coding. No, none at all. It doesn't give me massive bonuses. That is a 4, but that is a 4 plus coding, which means it's a 10. That's a 22.
All right.
This doesn't have to be anything like user-friendly. This is like, think of Linux, is what he's making. Like, it's not user-friendly. It's just like, you're going to kind of need to know coding to use.
As you begin to search up the computer systems inside this, the codex entries that you find throughout this archive database, when you go and search up codex manufacturing, and like the actual software components, the operating system behind each codex, you see that it uses certain quantum systems in order to communicate between different codexes, and then you also see an entry that was posted by what looks like TL Frameworks.
I look into that code, that entry.
As you look into it, you begin to see it looks like information about how there is a new line of codexes coming out called TL codexes, and they access the Vicroniax archives directly so that everyone can access all information all the time, kind of like an internet. Right now, the current how current codexes work is it's mostly decentralized, where certain codexes have certain entries, like actual codex entries in them, so you don't have you don't have access to everything unless you go and find someone who can transfer that information over to your codex. And if you go into actual archives, they don't just give you said information. They let you come in to research for a certain amounts of time, but you don't actually get to have that information. Whereas these new TL codexes have the said archived information inside them, so that you don't have to go to archives to research. You have it all at your fingertips.
Curious. Would be quite an advancement, as I'm reading it.
And they are currently testing these codexes. Well, these codexes have been testing for about, it looks like, you read about it. It looks like they've been testing these codexes for about 5 cycles now, since cycle 135 ACR, and it has been rather successful. It has been rather successful across Vicroniax, and there are steps to take in order to transfer all these codexes, or actually mass produce them across the pillars and the Foundation region as a whole. But to do that, they need direct they need direct access to certain archive databases, which certain factions might not want them to have.
But yeah, Dr. Cal's just looking through all that, sitting there, resting up physically.
Okay, go ahead and roll me. Actually, no. For how long are you sitting here?
Just until he feels like
better.
Better, yeah, for the most part.
Okay, yeah.
He's not like resting the entire day.
For about an hour and a half, you rest and your stamina's back to full.
Oh yeah, great. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10, man. That means I can do like 2 more salvaging things.
I mean, 2 more, yeah. Well, actually, what I was going to do is actually say, let's do 2 more salvaging things, and then we'll end the session after that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll actually get to the fun stuff now, because I made basic gear for Proto.
Okay, so I
don't feel like making it.
What are you going to make now?
Okay. I haven't thought of a proper name for this, because this is an old sci-fi idea I had.
Okay.
Do you want me to tell you its really dumb child name that I gave it?
Sure, let's hear it.
It is super dumb. It is the Uza McClacka Clacka. Not joking. That's what I should.
The Uza McClacka Clacka. What does the Uza McClacka Clacka do?
So you know the Tech Volver.
Yes, I do. Obviously,
it's the Tech Volver, but it has a little ball joint right past the grip. It has a screen on that joint before that joint. So what it is you put a camera on the end of a Tech Volver and you put a ball joint, and what it does is it can go around like corners and stuff while still holding the gun. You don't have to put your face out there to hold the gun. So it's just like kind of going around a corner with that ball joint.
Okay, so like a.
The thought is, yeah, it's like its own function for the Tech Volver.
Okay.
Almost. There are some more plans I have for it, but those are like later down the line. Like eventually, I want this thing to be able to basically have auto aim, where you like turn on the thing and it uses the ball joint to aim while you're holding the gun. It's basically a mini turret. That's how I've always imagined it.
Okay.
But for this version, I just want to get the ball joint working. This is the prototype for the ball joint.
So you want to make a new type of function capability
for the Tech Volver.
For the Tech Volver.
Yes.
Or even for new, like for
a new base eventually.
Yeah.
That's the end goal. Is eventually I want to create my own weapon with this system. But for now, it's easy enough to just modify a Tech Volver. You know what I mean?
Okay. And so explain to me and the audience one more time exactly how you want this to work. So you want it to be able to go around corners kind of thing, so that you could just point and shoot around a corner, or
okay, so
because I'm trying to visualize exactly what this would be able to do.
This is a really old idea that I had like a long time ago. So I understand. It's a weird idea. So the thought is basically you have a grip, and then on top of that grip you have a screen, which would take the place of the sights.
Okay.
And on the end of the gun, you have, after the ball joint, you have the rest of the gun and the firing mechanism and all that. This is a really difficult, this would be a really like unbalanced weapon, so it actually has a brace onto the arm so that you can more easily hold the gun with like your hands, because you wouldn't be able to hold this normally.
So this would be like, this would probably be more of a heavy weapon, wouldn't it? Heavy weapon, versatile. Or two-handed, because you have to hold it with 2 hands.
I wouldn't classify it as a heavy weapon, but I see what you mean, because it is a heavier weapon.
Like I'm trying.
I only.
Yeah, it's more like right now for the audience, we're basically crafting a new type of thing. So we have to go based off the system mechanics and how like the.
But like talking about system mechanics, a heavy weapon is about being almost like a higher caliber, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. I would.
This
say,
would
I would
still
say so.
be
So
like
it'd
the
be,
Techvolver caliber.
Okay.
It wouldn't be. It's not a heavier weapon.
Okay.
Like,
Well,
it's
then
not a
I
heavier
would
caliber.
say it would have the versatile function. Then
It definitely would.
Yeah.
But I'm just double checking that we're on the same page because I didn't imagine this with a larger caliber. I just imagined it as a very strange Techvolver.
Okay. And then there's a screen. There's a screen that shows. It kind of like shows the pathway that the bullet is going to take.
Yeah. There is a camera on the end of the barrel. Okay. So instead of using normal sights, you use this screen as the sight.
And the use case for it is if you're around a corner and you know someone's coming from around the corner that hasn't come around yet, you can shoot them from around the corner without actually
exposing yourself.
Yeah. Okay.
I talked about what my end goal for it is, but that end goal is definitely not a prototype end goal. That's we work on functions one at a time over time. All
right. Well then, in that case,
I understand. This would probably count as like this would be a weird weapon. I assume that it'd be pretty hard to make.
Yes, it's gonna be a bit more difficult than your average thing, but first you're gonna need to make the actual function itself. So I'm going to have you roll me a craft.
Okay.
Check.
I'm going to use my favorite ability.
Your favorite skill.
Favorite skill. Sorry, Matt. Sorry. I'm not a pro gamer enough, am I? So yeah, I go over. We get salvaging. I already did the math. It's about. Oh, excuse me. So it's a 12. It's a 12 plus
right, 21. It's 21 plus a D12 plus a D4.
Actually, I did this wrong. No, I didn't.
Because it's
21 plus a D4 plus a D12.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. So let me get out my D12. Get out my D4. Sorry, I probably should have told you this beforehand, but I thought it'd be more fun to do it on the fly.
It's fine.
Just so you weren't prepared for it.
Now
you know what I mean?
Yeah, now the audience gets to hear this new thing being made. So, yeah.
13 plus my 21, that's a 34. That's enough to make a quality 4. Sorry. But yeah, that's a 34. That's enough to possibly make a quality 4. 34. Did I fail?
You feel like you successfully make the proper blueprints for this function. What exactly are you calling this function?
Should have thought about this. For right now, Dr. Cal isn't too creative when it comes to name. It's just going to be called the ball joint for the Techvolver.
What about corner? What about joint. Corner sight?
Oh, corner sight. Yep, that's a good name. Corner sight.
Corner sight. I'm just going to type that in. Corner sight function.
Yep.
And
I'll have to. And I assume that I put down my actual. I put this on my Techvolver that I have.
Right now. That was just the blueprints to make sure that it was, because you're making this from scratch. So this is like you made the blueprints for it. Now you need the proper pieces. I need you to roll me a mechanics check.
Mechanics check.
But as you've already made this blueprint took you probably this blueprint took you 5 hours hours to basically detail out.
26. I got 26 on mechanics.
26 on your mechanics. Yeah, you're able to look around and find all the proper pieces that this corner site function requires. And now roll me another craft check.
You know what? Screw it. You know what we're doing, Matt.
Are you sure? Because this is just to craft the actual function itself.
Well, we need to get the function working.
Okay. So
is this going to be easier to do? Well, I already have the blueprint, so of course it's going to be easy.
It's going to be easier to do. So it's going to be easier to do because you have the blueprint.
Okay, so this is a 15 plus something. 15 doesn't auto succeed, I assume.
No.
15 plus a 7 equals a 20. 22?
22 is enough to create this corner site function, and it is now. You feel like it's a working prototype, but you haven't installed it into a tech volver yet. So in order to install it into a tech volver,
you need to do another crafting check. So we know what we're doing. We're doing a 21. We got the 21 out.
By the way,
got the 21 out, Matt.
It took you 1 more hour to basically make that function. Now to put it into the tech vault.
So this is the last thing I can do for tonight for the most part.
Yeah.
Before I have to sleep because mortal needs.
Yes.
Well, Proto also has to sleep, but you know. Oh. That's not a good roll. 21 plus 5 is 26, 28.
28.
Might not be enough to do it. There's a low chance it's not.
You are able to put this into it. It seems like the tech volver has accepted this function. Now, the moment of truth, you need to try to shoot something from around the corner.
Okay, so there's a dummy. I go over to the ballistic dummy, I assume.
Okay.
Because there's probably a difference between the melee dummy and the ballistic dummy.
They are like in their own little station area, ready for you for a test if you'd like.
I do a test before. I put the brace on because this would hurt your hand like heck if you didn't have a brace on, and I put my 2 hands on it. Because you need that for this thing, and I guess I roll a light ranged. That's what we agreed on, light range but versatile.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
just double check.
Actually, because you say that it is. Does it require 2 hands, or can you still shoot it with one hand?
You can fire it with 1 hand, but the big thing I say that it would require 2 hands is because Dr. Cal is very weak.
Okay. Just yeah.
Specifically, you would only need 1 hand because of the brace. I say 2 hands for stability for the most part. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't require 2 hands to wield.
Okay.
I say that as someone who's fired guns and be like, no, this recoil would be weird, but you should be able to sustain it with the brace.
Alright, well then I would like you to roll me your check, your light ranged form check.
So light ranged. That's a 7, that's a 14, that's a 17. As I make this thing round a quarter.
Okay, with a tech revolver that you have, let me check the tech revolver real quick. Tech revolver. There Okay. You said 17 is what you rolled?
Yeah.
Easy enough. You're able to fire it off, and you see it. You see the actual ball kind of fire off, go around the corner, and then hit it. And you see from beyond the actual transparent wall that you see, it definitely hit the dummy.
Dr. Cal, he kind of looks down, and he undoes the brace, and he puts down the gun, and he kind of rubs his hand. I assume this was out without the recoil stuff that it will add later. Mm-hmm. So he kind of rubs his hand. He's like, definitely need more recoil suppression. But and I look over at Proto. Did you see that, Proto?
Yes, I saw it.
Around the corner. Needs some modifications, but and I kind of go up to where the shot hit.
Yeah.
And I just rub my hands together.
Perhaps
they might want this.
Yes, they might actually pay for it. But should we make a full batch of them?
It needs some more testing. But for now,
I have analyzed your systems. I should be able to make batches of the current prototype.
Yes, we'll talk about this tomorrow, Proto. I do not feel like the current prototype is ready for field testing. And I kind of look over at the prototype. I imagine that there's wires and some duct tape around it.
Yeah. It's not clean yet. It's not clean.
I come to think of a certain favorite mechanic of mine who is also within this universe.
Oh, yes.
We dare not speak his name, but he may appear.
Or maybe...
Or our legs may be crushed.
That is some meta knowledge there. But anyways.
That's some meta knowledge that will require watching the Twitch streams.
Yes. You can
Sorry, I had to shout it out.
You can go check out our Arthadian Anthologies on YouTube or on Twitch and go and watch the actual New Age campaign. But yes, as you go and you both go back to your chamber, the door opens up and you go to rest. And we are going to end the session there.
Perfect.
Yes.
I have more ideas to go through you, but for right now, that was the one idea I thought was worth it.
That was good.
First session.
And for everyone listening to this session, we will see where this goes. For Dr. Cal is going to be an interesting character. Well, as you probably will hear from his origins, he's definitely an interesting character. But yes, thank you all for listening to this session. And if death comes to you, may you be reborn in power. And credits. I thank you for listening to The Doctor. Be sure to check out the official New Age campaign, now releasing here on the podcast and streaming bi-weekly Tuesdays on Twitch. A link will be found in the description of this entry. And if you want to be reborn yourself, you can subscribe as a Chosen to access Chosen creation and exclusive Codex entries. Until next time, travelers, be safe, stay safe, and if death comes to you, may you be reborn in power.